Hi YouTube. So I haven't done a video in a while. My first 3 videos I probably made about 6 months ago, and they were just about ME and CFS. And after that I sort of stopped making them, and it's not because I ran out of things to say. I have a lot to say. It's just that I didn't know how to talk about ME and CFS in sort of a constructive, organized fashion, because there's a lot to talk about. And I guess what happened was, because I had so much to say, it's kind of like everyone going through a door all at the same time. No one gets through. So I think I'm just going to maybe go through one symptom at a time and just talk about how it affects my life, and maybe what little things we could do to manage them. Because of course there are no outright cures, and I'd suppose that CFS or ME, just like most chronic illnesses, is more about just managing and improving quality of life gradually than it is about finding, an immediate cure. And the good news is that there's been a new international definition of myalgic encephalomyelitis, and whether it's a good definition or a bad definition, I haven't really looked into it, and I don't know how accurate it is in describing sort of the patient population. But the good news is that people are working together now, instead of having all these different isolated researchers who don't communicate. And so it's a lot better that people are coming together and sharing their knowledge, because not only is knowledge best when it's shared, especially scientific knowledge, because it can build upon itself, but it's also good because it's more of a loud voice than a couple of isolated researchers in different parts of the world finding little things. And I guess the problem with ME in the past has been that there has never been a sort of group consensus. So I guess the new definition of myalgic encephalomyelitis represents sort of a group consensus. ME started first being used in the UK, and then in America they sort of discovered some other people that were experiencing similar symptoms. But because they didn't communicate with the people in the UK, they just thought it was a completely new disease. And then they named it chronic fatigue syndrome. So you had these two patient populations who were experiencing similar symptoms. And the people in America and Canada, they thought they were just starting from scratch. They thought it was a brand new disease, when in reality there has already been some sort of research. There was already a large patient population elsewhere which was experiencing these symptoms. So I think that if sort of the research for this disease is sort of all brought together and everything is standardized, I think things will happen a lot better. Anyway, that's why I'm making this. I sort of got inspired by a lot of the new developments for myalgic encephalomyelitis. I don't know if there's been any major breakthroughs, but I think the good news is that people are coming together looking for a breakthrough rather than not. So that's good. I mean, you gotta start somewhere, right? So today I think I'm just going to talk about one symptom of myalgic encephalomyelitis. There's a lot of symptoms, and a lot of the symptoms appear not to be related. This is why a lot of the time someone with ME will walk into an emergency room or something, and the medical staff there might hypothesize that the person is a hypochondriac, because they're saying, well, I have pain all over my body, and I'm not sleeping, and all these different things that are seemingly unrelated. But I guess they're all related because they're all symptoms of ME. And what is ME? Well, myalgic is inflammation of the muscles, and encephalomyelitis is inflammation of the brain and spinal cord. And I think the days when sort of things are localized is over. I mean, the new bad illnesses sort of all have to do with the brain, and a lot of them are syndromes, which means that you're not just going to get one part of the body that's affected. It's your whole system, which is sort of experiencing problems. So, about sleep. Sleep with ME is pretty bad. I guess the thing about it is it's unrefreshing. So that someone with ME, even if they get a good, something like 10 hours of sleep, which is what I often get, you wake up feeling tired. And after a big night of sleep, the feeling of waking up feeling tired is really claustrophobic, because you expect to wake up feeling like you have energy, but if you wake up feeling tired with a headache, feeling like you have the flu, you really feel boxed in, because you've just spent the last 10 hours of your life in your bed sleeping, and then you wake up and it's like you just need to stay in bed, and so you sort of feel like, oh, I sort of like want to get out of this, and yeah, it really sucks. And the sleep, I guess the way you know it's bad quality, well, at least for me, is because I get a lot of lucid dreams. And the thing about lucid dreams is that you're almost thinking in your dreams. So like you remember them a lot, they can be stressful, and the thing is that if you're having lucid dreams, then you're not getting good rest. Why? Because, well, your mind is active. And I guess the whole point of sleeping is that your mind gets turned off and you get a little bit of a break. I went to a sleep study, and as it turns out, my REM sleep is reduced. And so apparently that's the reason why I get more dreams, because the REM sleep gets interrupted, and so I remember dreams, whereas usually you just don't remember them, and you're not aware of them. Tips for sleep with ME. Well, a lot of people with ME, they have insomnia, because first of all, ME, you have a documented sleep disorder. So I know that I've read a couple things, and I don't personally take them, but if you're someone with ME who is suffering from insomnia, it might not be a bad idea to take some sleep pills. Not so you can become reliant on them, and I'm not saying you need to drug yourself and you know, put yourself into a bit of a coma. No. It's something just to initiate sleep, because you do have a documented sleep disorder, and you can't heal unless you get sleep. So even though sleeping pills, they say they can be addictive, if you take them regularly and never increase the dose, just use them to help you initiate sleep, it might not be such a bad thing. And I guess all the other sleeping rules apply to people with ME who are having trouble sleeping. Personally, I usually lay in bed for about an hour awake before I get to falling asleep. And I guess that's technically insomnia, but it doesn't really bother me, because I think it's a great way to unwind and sort of decompress. And I think it's a lot better than sort of laying in your bed and passing out immediately. So your body can sort of, you know, get into a mode of sleep, and you're not so stressed out. Before you finally do fall asleep, you can sort of have that time to decompress. Unless, of course, you're someone who lays in bed getting anxious because they're not falling asleep. Then maybe you want to get to sleep earlier. But yeah, I'm sort of going off topic. So yeah, ME and sleep. Sleep's not refreshing. Obviously you need refreshing sleep to get better. I guess things that could mitigate it would be sleeping pills and just good sleep hygiene. I used to like bring my laptop in bed before I got sick, and just watch movies and do a bunch of emailing in bed, and now I don't do that anymore. Now my computer really, I try to never let it enter the bedroom, and I try to make the sleeping, my bedroom, literally just a bed and maybe a light so that I can see my way into bed. And that's it. Okay, so that's my video for today. I hope to make more videos and maybe just work my way through the symptoms. And see you guys next time. Bye.